What's going on, traders? In this video, we're going to go over the possibility of a sell-off happening all over again. What institutions are doing? Are they loading up puts? Are they loading up calls? Are we going to get a Santa rally? We're going to go over all of that. But before we start, like, subscribe, comment your thoughts below. Let's get into the video. So in my last video, I told you guys we break below 584. We're heading towards 576. And we didn't quite get that. We got 579. Sue me. I was 2-3 points off. Sorry, I can't be perfection all the time, all right? But one thing we did do, we broke below 598. I warned you guys about this way before, pal. I kept telling you guys, we break below 598, you're heading towards the 570s. We got that exact move, so don't get it twisted. I still think we're going to see 576 in the near future. Why do I think that? Well, one thing I want you guys to pay attention to and mark on your charts is between 600 and 604. Do not marry the idea that we're going to see new highs, all right? I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I just don't want you to marry the idea yet, all right? So between 600 and 604 is where you need to be careful. I will be sitting cash in this area, or I'll be looking to load up puts in this area. Why would I be looking to load up puts? Well, you see it here. I mean, clear as day. You see all these bearish candles here. This only shows me that bears are very strong in this area. And even when you do get bullish candles, they're very small. And then you see them get smaller and smaller before you see this breakdown. Right here, you just turned into a bullish doji, and then boom, you just broke completely down. Not only that, but we could be looking at a possible head and shoulders pattern here. You have a shoulder here, head here, a potential shoulder here at around the 602 range. If we get this shoulder here and we reject from this area and we break below the neckline at around 580, 579, then chances are we're heading towards 576. So that is what I'm looking at in regards to the SPY when we're talking about downside. There's a lot of turbulence in this area, but more importantly, there's a lot of bears in this area. So be very much careful in this area. Now, what would it take for us to go higher and really break out this area? Well, first, we will obviously need good news. I don't think PCE data is enough good news for us to just break straight through here. I honestly think we're going to need something from Jerome Powell in order to break above this area. So key level that I'm looking at is 604. We break below above 604. We're heading towards 608. And then after that, I want to see a move above 608.5, 608.6. And then from there, we can be looking at new highs towards 610, 614, so on and so forth. So that's what I'm looking at if we're talking about upside. All right. So let's look at the options chain. So we go to unusual whales and we type in the SPY, and two contracts has really caught my attention. Now let's focus on the bullish contracts first, because I don't want you guys thinking like I'm some perma bear and I'm just super bearish all the time. 600 calls you have expiring tomorrow. Okay, you have 600 calls expiring tomorrow, so that lines up with what we were talking about in regards to that retest towards 602, right? The ask is higher than the bid. You have a 2.11 million premium. So that is a good sign that we could be seeing more upside heading into Christmas break, which is very much expected. I don't think anyone should be surprised by that. You have a major holiday. I did expect some type of slow grind into the holiday, and then after that, we'll have to see what happens. But this is where things get really, really ugly. You have 580 puts expiration. What is this? December 27, which is this Friday? Yeah, this Friday, upcoming Friday. What's really interesting about this is that you have a 23.6 million premium, guys. This has the highest premium on the options chain right now. 580 puts expiration Friday. All right. Now, a lot of times people in the YouTube comments or just ask me in general, well, this could just be a hedge. What if this is a hedge? Or I've even seen a guy on Twitter say, you guys are going to get smoked following that hedge. And it just shows me that a lot of you just don't know how to read options chain, which is fine. It's not a common thing to know. But when you click on this, when you click on the contracts, right, one thing you want to look for is the ask to be higher than the bid. Why? When the ask is higher than the bid, that means that institutions are buying. When the bid is higher than the ask, that means institutions are selling that particular contract. All right, so keep that in mind. All right, so right now, when we click on this 580 puts for December 27th, right, we're looking at a 63,200 ask over a 7,000 bid, guys. So they are still in this contract as far as I know, okay, as far as I can tell, okay. So they are still in this contract. Another play that I was looking at is this is just crazy right here. I wasn't anticipating this as a target just yet, but you're looking at 562 puts for January 17th with a 10.9 million premium. Now let's actually click on this, right? And let's actually click on this and we'll see that it's a 38,546 ask over a 2,045 bit. Whales are very much in this play right now. So something to think about. Now, why 562? All right. So when we talked about 576, and I talked about this in that the other institution video where I said look, whales were loading up puts, and you guys should be careful looking at 576. There's a gap fill at 576, right? So it lines up with what that contract was that I showed you guys in that video. But what about the 560s? Well, there is a gap at the 560s, around 563. It's not a huge gap. It's more like a fair value gap. So definitely something to pay attention to here. 563, 562. So kind of lines up with this contract that we just saw, this 562 put for January 17th. So be very much careful. Now, I want you guys to keep in mind that we don't really have a bullish incentive. Okay, we don't have a reason to continue to head higher, or at least head towards highs. Okay, and when I mean head towards highs, I mean actually like breaking highs. Okay, Jerome Powell pretty much confirmed it. So unless he comes out and says something crazy, I can't see us breaking higher than this just yet. All right, now in regards to a Santa rally, I want you guys to understand something. Um, Santa rallies do not happen every single year. You are welcome to go back in time and you will see a lot of the years it's either consolidation all the way into the middle of January or end of January, or you sell off the week of Christmas. There's plenty of times where you sold off the week of Christmas and then you just continue to sell off all the way into mid January. And then there's times where you actually did get a Santa rally. Now, a Santa rally to me is when you break previous highs and you make newer highs. A Santa rally to me is not this. Okay, it's not a retest of previous highs and then you just break down. That's not a Santa rally. That's just simply a liquidity grab and a simple retest. That's just me. Maybe it's a Santa rally to you. Regardless, if it is a Santa rally or not, I just don't want you guys marrying the idea that a Santa rally has to happen every single year. It doesn't. Can it happen this year? Sure. Does it have to happen? No, it's not some guaranteed thing, especially when you have majority of traders anticipating it. Usually when majority of traders anticipate something, the opposite happens. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. It's like a bunch of Jim Cramers everywhere. So something to keep in mind here. All right, so that's what I'm looking at in regards to the SPY, the triple Qs. So the triple Qs, we talked about this as well. I told you guys, if we're going to retest the upside, we're looking at 530, between 530, 533, and that is where you need to be careful, between 530 and 533. Right now, we're below this trend right now, so I'm not like, too bullish or even too bearish right now. But, if we break above 520, then I do imagine that we're going to head towards that 530 target that I was talking about. Okay. So something to look forward to in regards to the triple Qs. Now, in regards to downside, you're looking at a break below 508. You break below 508, you're heading towards 503 range. And then lowest I'm looking at, still stand by this, you're looking at 492. If that contract on the SPY plays out, that 562 contract, 562 puts contract, you can pretty much guarantee that the Qs is going to see 492, okay, which is where this gap fill is. So it would make sense, okay? The math would definitely make sense, guys, okay? So, something to pay attention to, all right? But that's what I have for the triple Qs. Now, let's talk about Tesla, because someone said I got smoked Friday, so I just want to laugh at them real quick. All right, so Tesla, I told you guys in I believe the last video, maybe 2 videos ago, I told you guys if Tesla sees 445, I'm loading up puts. Okay, I told you guys this. I even gave you guys the contract. I said 350 puts for February 21st, and we go to our Discord. We took profit on IWM Friday, 70% gain. And then where is Tesla? I'll be looking to add Tesla at 445 if we see that, and then I will let gravity take its course. And we got into Tesla, adding to Tesla and SMH play, and you know, I mean, it speaks for itself, guys. It's crazy. You trolls in the comments are hilarious, man. Some guy said I got smoked Friday. Like like Friday we didn't see any type of sell off. Like we saw a pump to the upside and then we sold off. Like because the government shutdown news. So I mean, Tesla hit as high as about 450. We loaded up puts at around 445 range, and then boom, from there it was just all downhill. Tesla headed as low as the 420s. So that's what I'm looking at in regards to Tesla. I think we're going to see more downside for Tesla. Obviously, if the market drops, we may see one more retest because this is a hammer pattern right here, a reverse hammer pattern. So one more retest at around 442, 450 range before we see another sell back towards the downside. So that's what I'm looking at in regards to Tesla. IWM, the Russell, probably the easiest thing you could have traded when Jerome was talking. So what was interesting about this, and this showed up in our Discord alerts, our bot actually alerted this. So IWM puts for, when did Jerome Powell speak? The 18th? Yeah, I believe it was the 18th. So what's interesting about this is that on that day, like before Jerome Powell spoke, these puts started coming in like fast. All right. So you got some calls here, of course, but these like 213 puts, 217 puts, 210 puts, you had a lot of puts come in. And like right before Jerome Powell speak, there was like 221 puts that came in. I believe it's in the Discord alerts or whatever. I'm not gonna look for it, but regardless, there were puts that came in, and then like immediately after, we just saw this thing tanked. All right, Discord members know. Um, I'm not gonna just search for that contract or that alert, but definitely was alerted, and yeah, IWM just plummeted from there. So if we're talking about a retest back towards the upside, I'm looking at 227. All right, 227. And then from there, we'll have to see what happens. Highest I'm looking at is about 230. But right now, I mean, when you're talking about 227, which is around this area right here, you have your rejection here, you have another rejection here, and then you did your little mounty thing here, and then bulls regained here, and then you broke down. So I do think we're going to, if anything, if we do get a retest, 227. So you want to see a break above 225, and then from there you're looking at 227, 228 range, and then we'll have to see what happens from there. Other than that, that's really all I have for this video, guys. I just really wanted to, troll some people real quick. Not only that, but just get you guys prepared for those contracts that I mentioned on the SPY and on the Qs. Also, I mean, we can look at SMH. SMH, um, it's not looking bad, not looking good. It's kind of like in neutral territories. Not much to talk about here until it breaks below the 200 daily SMA, which has been trying to do over and over. But right now, you're looking at the symmetrical triangle. Bulls have attempted to break above this thing multiple times, and bears continue to break it back down. So it's only showing me that bears are getting stronger here, and at some point in time, SMH may head lower, which would be bad for Nvidia, obviously. So something to pay attention to here. That's all I have for this video, guys. Just wanted to get you guys prepared. I may make another video tomorrow. We'll see how things go. Other than that, let me know your thoughts below, whether you agree or disagree. Just keep it respectful as always. And until the next video, traders, have a good one.